Yes guys, welcome back to another episode of F1 2016 Mobile Career Mode, and we are back today for the Italian Grand Prix in season number 6. Check out the last episode if you missed it. That took place at the German Grand Prix. There's some gameplay on the screen now when we saw the return of the safety car, which we've not seen for quite a long time, and we drove in cockpit mode. And I can also tell you that we will be driving once again using the cockpit camera for this race. However, after that, I don't know when we are next going to be deploying cockpit mode, should we say. So yes, we come into this race off the back of what was, to be honest, a very disappointing race. We had this safety car glitch where I was just completely dropped by the game, and also the pit stop glitch completely screwing over my race. So let's hope we can stay out of trouble today.
Time has come for the drivers to put all they've learned this weekend into reality. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix.
So it's another pole, another front row for Mercedes, because Hamilton once again just follows me in qualifying. In terms of the strategy, it's a one-stop super soft to soft tyres. That's quite simple. We're not doing completely no downforce at all, because I do want to have some speed in the middle sector and be able to brake late into turn 1. 5 red lights are out and we are underway for the Italian Grand Prix, and you know what, that's been a pretty good start. I don't think we're going to get challenged into the first corner. I'm going to try and brake a little bit later to try and stop any move coming in, but I completely mess it up. That's precisely why I need to keep some wing on the car, because otherwise I'm going to overshoot that corner so many times. And now we cut all the way on to the end of lap 6. Nearly half the race, nothing happened. Although now, here comes Hamilton. He's going up the inside of the parabolic. I'm going to try and cut him off though. Although, to be honest, I think I am actually going to make my pit stop. So I'm not going to make it too difficult for him. Lewis does actually continue on. So we're making the undercut attempt here. We're going to fit the set of soft tyres. Was starting lap 7, 2.1 seconds in the box. Very, very nicely done. Although it's happened again. The pit lane glitch for the game has just meant that I've just spent 40 seconds in the pit lane. I think that's certainly at least 3 pit stops in a row. I know it happened twice in Germany. It's happened in a few other races recently as well. I cursed it, didn't I, in Monaco when I said that we were going to be OP in the pit lane when we had a 17-second total time in the pits. But what can you do? We've just got to fight back, and that really starts with that double overtake on Perez and Haryanto, both of whom going wide. The AI do seem to be a little bit bugged as we go through the Lesmos and coming towards the end of the lap. Look at the straight line speed deficit I've got on Daniel Ricciardo, the Red Bull driver, on the medium tyres. We are going to go to the inside of him, and probably of Kimi Raikkonen as well, up the inside at the first chicane, leaving no room for the Iceman, and we're just looking to get the move done as quickly as possible. No contact made, clean as you like, and we've got Romain Grosjean in the crosshairs next, but Kimi does want to try and fight back. He was getting a little bit close as we head through the Curva Grande, although now we are going to be closing up to the French driver, and again, I'm not hanging about here, up the inside, not quite overshooting the corner, which is good, but I certainly don't want to be going any deeper than that as we're going through the first of the Lesmo corners, and we have actually already caught up to Massa. So the Brazilian driver in the Williams actually went a little bit wide, and he's going to give me some DRS down the back straight, and we're going to get the move done on him as well. So we do seem to be, cutting through the field like a hot knife through butter as we move on to lap number 9, and we have got Carlos Sainz, the Toro Rosso driver, on the podium at the moment. That would make it his 2nd podium of the season already, after I believe he finished on the rostrum in Baku, although saying that the Toro Rosso driver does go very wide, and that's going to give me 3rd place. Max Verstappen up next, and of course we know Lewis Hamilton will be leading the Grand Prix. So moving on to lap number 10, is Verstappen going to go wide? No, he doesn't. Okay, that surprised me a lot actually. Normally they always go wide through there. Although for some reason Verstappen didn't. Of course Hamilton never does because Mercedes are just OP. Although they do tend to weave a little bit on the back straight as well. So that's a fairly straightforward move done with DRS up into P2. Lewis Hamilton quite a way ahead, so I'm going to have to push like crazy for the final sort of 3 and a bit laps or so left of this Grand Prix to see if I can try and win it, because that would make it at least 3 wins in a row for Hamilton, although Verstappen's trying to make my life difficult himself as he tries to go up the inside there. I'm going to leave a bit of space for the Dutch driver, downshift to 7th gear as we come out of the final corner, the long pit straight. The Dutch driver will have DRS as there are now just 3 laps to go in this race. Hamilton 32 seconds ahead, surely that can't be right, but Verstappen with DRS has got the move done, although I'm last of the late breakers and I can throw onto the outside and therefore keep P2, although, you know, little bit of a tyre in the gravel there on the exit, which is not what we like to see. And now we're about to start the final lap of this Italian Grand Prix. Hamilton 3 seconds down the road. Is it going to be enough to catch him? We've managed to drop Verstappen though by a couple of seconds, which is good because overall my pace has been fairly solid around this track this weekend. Let's see what the time split is at the end of the first sector. We've gained half a second, but unfortunately I think I'm going to need to be gaining a little bit more than that if I want to try and get the move done on Hamilton. He's weaving a bit. I've got DRS. This could be the one chance to try and snatch victory of this Italian Grand Prix. The gap is half a second, but no. I've gone a little bit deep into the Ascari chicane. That should give Hamilton enough breathing room to hold on. And as we head down towards the Parabolica for the final time, the gap's going to be less than a second. And once again, if it wasn't for the pit stop glitch happening, I probably could have won a race. The game screwing me over as it does, and it's going to mean that Hamilton's going to add another 7 points advantage to his championship lead. And we're not quite going to win. It's P2 in Monza. That's a tough pill to swallow because we had the pace to win. We were rapidly catching and it was completely out of our control. There's the results for the Italian Grand Prix. 0.6 of a second the gap over the line between myself and Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen rounding out the podium for Red Bull, and Daniel Ricciardo, a great weekend for the Milton Keynes outfit as he finishes P4. Alonso P6, Kvyat P7, Esteban Gutierrez completing the final points. Raikkonen finishing outside the points in the end, only P14 for the Finnish driver. In the drivers' standings, we've dropped to 19 points behind Hamilton. We had a really big lead after the first 2 races, and that's just completely been turned on its head. We've been to a few tracks where it's quite tough for the AI because they're normally quite strong there. However, the next race is no exception at the Spanish Grand Prix. We are also controlling the Constructors' Championship, which is good, so I think it's safe to say we're probably going to wrap that up quite early on from the end. However, my target this season is the drivers. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys all next time in Barcelona. Goodbye.